restrooms when you need them are over here. It'd be good if we could do the tour first and use restrooms later. Is that okay? Yes? Okay. They'll still be over here when we get back. Let's go this way. For many hundreds of years, people have been going to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre because it's the place where Jesus died and rose again. Have you been to? You have. Good. Well, you'll know that's inside the old city now, but in Jesus' day it was probably outside the city walls. So that could be the place where it happened. Many people think that this could be the place where it happened. And what started them thinking about this place was this cliff face over here. And what they thought the types of features of a skull in the cliff face. I have an old photo here, taken about 100 years ago, from over on the city wall. It gives you some idea of what they were looking at back then. And you can make out eyes and a nose and a mouth. Yes? Eyes and nose and mouth. You can't see the mouth anymore because when they built this bus station, unfortunately they raised the ground. But can you see the eyes and the nose across there? Yes? Well, we know that Jesus was crucified in a place called Golgotha. And the word Golgotha means skull. We know it sometimes as Calvary, which comes from the Latin word for skull. But the connection is the same. And with that feature in the cliff face, you can see why people began to wonder about whether this might be Golgotha, a place of skull. There is a tradition about this place that it used to be a Jewish place of execution before the Romans came. Back then, they would have executed convicted criminals by throwing them off a cliff and then by stoning them. Why am I telling you? Well, we don't know how Golgotha got its name. Why would you call somewhere a place of the skull? It's an unusual name, isn't it? Maybe it got its name because it was a place of execution. Maybe it got its name because of the skull featured in its cliff face. Or maybe there was some other reason. We just know that it was at Golgotha where Jesus died on the cross. It was the Romans who put Jesus to death, and when they were crucifying people, they would bring them outside the city walls and crucify them close to a main road. Because they wanted as many people as possible to see what happened to them if you didn't live by Roman rules. We're outside the walls of the old city here. This building closest to us is the bus station, and behind that you can see the walls of the old city. Or again, you may get a glimpse of them through the gap on the end over there. The walls of today are only 500 to 600 years old. But just on to the right, hidden behind these buildings, is the Damascus Gate of the old city. Below the Damascus gate that you walk through today, there's a Roman gate. So you should be outside the walls in Roman times. We also know that there were two main roads coming into the city at Damascus Gate in Roman times. One of those was the Damascus Road, which came in all the way from Damascus. Damascus is up in this direction, and the road came down this way. Roughly where the road is, you came on just to come up to the garden too. The other main road came in from Jericho. Jericho over in this direction, and the road came in this way. So with two main roads coming together here, the Romans would have thought this was a good place to crucify people, because lots of people have seen it. So this could be where Jesus died on the cross. Now the next question we have to ask is, where would the cross have been? A lot of people coming here for the first time are thinking on top of a hill. Back home in England, where I come from, we have lots of Easter cards with a cross or three crosses on top of some very round, green, English-looking hills. And there aren't very many of those around Jerusalem. But we have this idea on top of a hill. Or people have seen it in a film. Or they've heard it in a song. But it's unlikely that Jesus was being crucified up there. Much more likely it would have happened down here, near to the main road. Because the Romans wanted you to see close up the pain the person was going through as they died on the cross. And they would put a notice on the cross, which was the charge against the person being crucified. Do you remember what it said on Jesus' cross? King of the Jews. That's it. And if they'd then taken him up there to crucify him, no one would have got up there to read the notice and to see what was going on. But down here, you couldn't miss it. And that's exactly what the Romans had in mind. So somewhere down here, near to the road, is the most likely place for the cross. Now for me, I'm a Christian and a believer in Jesus. And for me, the exact place where the cross was is not the most important thing. The most important thing is who was on that cross and why he was on it. I believe that Jesus is the Son of God, who came into this world to die on a cross for me. God has to judge the wrong in my life, but God's judgment was poured out onto Jesus, so it doesn't have to be poured out onto me. But I can be forgiven. I can know God as my Father in heaven. And it's not because of anything I've done, it's all because of Jesus. So I'm so grateful to God for sending his Son to die on the cross for me. Whether that was here, or over here, or maybe in a church a little bit further over here. So I'd love to be able to share with people as we think about how this could be the place where. Now I've been talking at you for a while. Is there anything anyone would like to ask? And then I'll give you a chance to take some photos here, and then we'll go on to the tomb. Yes, sir.
The Bible says that Christ was offered and sacrificed on the cross north of the altar. We got to find out where the altar was. Where was the altar? The altar was at the temple. This is north. The church over there is west of the altar. So this is a likely place. Not only that, but all this at one time was the same mountain. It was quarried. And there was, the Bible talks about a cleavage. At one time an earthquake happened and the road, wherever that road is, sunk. So you have two mountains. This is where the temple is. So we don't really know, but we do know he was, if you read the Bible, he was offered north of the altar.
And you're right, this is all part of Mount Moriah that we know from the story of Abraham and Isaac in the Old Testament, which points forward to the coming of Jesus. So we're on the northern end of Mount Moriah. Thank you. Anything else that you would like to ask? Okay. Well, we're going to take some photos here.